Hey there, welcome back. Today I have a really special episode for you to highlight some of the lighting features that I did in my own personal home, show you how they're controlled, show you everything about them, and show you why I chose to do them in the locations that I did. So let's go ahead and show you the whole home lighting system I put in my house from Savant. So let's start by showing you the actual control of the lighting. So here you can see that we have one of our 8-inch Savant touchscreens. So this device right here will control all of our music, lighting, cameras, TV, energy, intercom, entry, and climate control. That's all done through our Savant system. But today I really want to focus on lighting and show you how controlled lighting is one of the most important things that can elevate your space and elevate your home in the level of control. So here you can see that I have all of my rooms actually on this touchscreen right now. You can see what's on at a glance and what's off at a glance. Each room then you can go into and actually dial in each of the lights. And you'll see that every light in my house never goes to full because there's no reason for it to go to full. You're also looking at an energy management standpoint as well when you're looking at a system like this. And since we're looking at pictures, we're looking at different things around the house, we want to make sure that everything has the proper light on it so we get the proper coloring and the proper look at the end of the day. So here we have some of our foyer lights here. And another big thing that I've actually recently started integrating is colored lights. Now they also follow the circadian rhythm when it comes to all of the lighting in your home. So your day can actually really change by the way that we experience light as humans. So in the morning, we experience a cooler light with a bright morning sun. And at night, we like to relax with some candlelight at the end of the day. So that's why integrating some of our colored lights here, and you can see we actually have one up there right now, we can actually go right here and we can integrate whatever color we want to inside of that fixture. So if I want to click here, I can see all of my different daylight and day temperatures here. So if we want to go neutral, early morning, sunrise, warm white, cool white, we can do all that from right here, which I think is really neat and something that we're going to start to see a lot more of. And we even offer retrofitting items that can actually take your home's lighting now and transform it into full circadian rhythm or full color RGBW, which I think is great. So enough with that, let's get on to the tour, show you how I lit things and what kind of lights I actually used for the installation. So at the time I actually designed all of the lighting in the house, it was pretty much a rush. I was trying to actually move into the house to live in the house, and lighting, well, you need lights to live in a house. So far we've actually picked some of a lot of our fixtures from GM Lighting, which I've found to love, and they work great with our Savant dimmers, which we'll show you downstairs in the electrical panels. So here you can see we have actually a 2-inch eyeball. Now I really like smaller lights because I see so much more value in them, and I don't really like the look of a big light on the ceiling. Now you will see that we have 6-inch wafers throughout the house, which is a type of LED fixture, but they are just for work lights or cleaning lights, as I like to call them, because they're rarely ever on now. So you can see I actually illuminated my picture. I chose my colorings to bring out the gold, so I like a warmer tone of light. I'm not a cooler person, so warmer always did better for me. So you can see how we highlight the golds in this photo, we highlight the colors inside of it, and the blacks. So that was this wall and how we actually put those 2 eyeballs in here. And I made sure that when we actually designed all the lighting, we put in a lot of separate circuits. Now you'll see throughout the house, a common theme is not many light switches. That's why we did a lot of controlled fixtures and controlled light switches themselves. So they actually have push buttons or diodes on them that we can go through and fully program to whatever we like in that scene. So whether it's music, TV, lighting, shades, control, anything, we can actually program into them. So you can see in this foyer alone, we have about 14 zones of full lighting in here. So we can really create any atmosphere that we want. So from wall sconces to being a different dimmer setting than our actual picture or mirror light. That was really important and really can set the mood when you have your guests over because it tells you what is going on in that picture. We don't want to focus on something, but we want to focus on something else. That's what we use lighting in here for, is to highlight different pieces of artwork in different areas of the home. All right, so let's actually start by going through the dining room itself. So the dining room, it's a place where we all gather, we all eat, and it was really important that we designed lighting in here that was efficient for the space, that was not overbearing on your eyes when you're sitting at this table. And you can actually see one of those switches that I mentioned before. This is one of them. It can actually control the dimmer, it controls our music, it controls the scene, and it controls what lights are actually on in here. Funny enough, there's actually no lights actually being controlled from this. They're all controlled from our panelized lighting controller downstairs, which we'll show you in a bit. That's a common theme in this picture. A lot of our lights are actually controlled from the panel itself. So moving through, you can see we did a beautiful chandelier. That was a big focal point of this. We wanted to go rectangular table, rectangular light fixture. They both complement each other. But we didn't want something that was overbearing and really bright on your eyes, especially for a late night dinner or if we're sitting here talking during dessert. So I made sure that we kept our main lights off our work lights and we actually ran in and we did our 2.5-inch eyeballs again. So here you'll see that we have, a beautiful light fixture here for some artwork as soon as we get that. And even over the fireplace, another 2.5-inch eyeball. And it was really about taking your eye away from things that were on the ceiling, since there are a lot of things on our ceilings, from speakers to access points, now lighting, that we really had to contend with for this space. So I'm really happy at all of the 2.5-inch fixtures we did in here. And you can see that we illuminated a lot of the room, but it's not overbearing. It's easy to sit here for a late night dinner and enjoy the actual ambiance of friends and company and anybody else you have, and not, wow, that light's really bright in my eye. So that was a really important feature that we designed for this dining room alone. So let's actually go into another room now that's adjacent from our dining room. That's one of my favorite rooms in the home. So in here, we actually did a built-in shelf here, and we did our LED lighting on the sides for it, so we could illuminate anything that was on the shelf, but not directly illuminate it. You can see we have another work light above, as I like to call them. You'll see that they really do not get used if it's not a clean or work situation. So in here, you can see that this was a bookcase. We rebuilt this, and we made sure that we left space for our integrated LED lighting, which was another great thing in this room. Was now that it's all controlled off of your phone, now I can go through and I can adjust all of my colors. So I love to live life in color. I think it's a great addition to any home, especially in today's day and age, with how simple and how easy it is to actually integrate it into your home. So you can see we can go from any different color. Everything is controlled right off of our Savant app. So right here on our color wheel, you can see we can fly around that. And what's even cooler is we can go here. We have our circadian rhythm schedule. We have different ways that we can adjust the light temperature that we want to play with. We actually also have an RGBW counter here as well, where we can go in and input our own colors. And then here are some of our favorite colors that we've saved over time. And we can actually click here. And what's neat about the GE Sync lighting from Savant is we actually have a lot of different pre-built shows that we can place on the lights themselves. So whether it comes from sound, we can do candlelight, fireworks, happy holidays, we can do rainbows, and all those different things like that, which before with regular light strips, you were locked into a certain type of color and certain type of color temperature. So moving through again, you can see we really focused on gimbal lighting, so that illuminates the front and illuminates the pictures and different knickknacks we have on the shelves. And then we moved to 2-inch gimbals. So we stayed with 3-inch gimbals, then back to 2-inch gimbals, since we needed a little bit wider light output with our shelves. Then we switched back to our 2-inch ones. And then over here, we actually switched to cone 2-inch versions that actually just put light out and a little bit of a cone, but they're good if we did want to hang some artwork here. They're a very well-rounded light. Being 360 degrees, you do get some baffled diffusion in them as well, which I find really nice in each of these corners. It provides just a perfect amount of light. So whether you're DJing or listening to music, it's not right in your eye, but we still get good light in the room. Alrighty, so now moving to the family room. This is another really great gathering space in this home to gather with friends and family to watch TV or watch the game or watch whatever you really want to watch. So here you can see that we did a lot of work lights, and they're great. They provide lighting, but they're really just bland lights. Ultimately they're wafer lights. They're cheap and efficient just to get light in a room. So here we didn't do a lot of it, but we did 2 eyeballs here that illuminate the fireplace. And I actually bought these because I'm really not a big fan of lamps, but I really love that these are battery powered little torches right here. They plug in with USB-C. It's got a little mushroom cap here. It's all touch sensitive, and it also has a dimmer, which I love these because they provide light in different spaces in the house, but they look great and they're so functional, whether you want them on a table for a tablescape. But I really love these little lamps. So it does add another element of light. If you're reading or different things like that, it just provides another eye-catching lighting piece for the room. So here really hasn't got much done yet. I'm thinking of actually changing some of these lights out. We'll go to some more modern fixtures and see what we can do in here that just brings up the room a little bit. Maybe some light on the back table, but this room is a work in progress. And now moving into the kitchen, which is another really great gathering space. We did under cabinet lighting here. We did all of our LED strips. We picked the right color that really goes with our marble. And color temperature is a really important thing when designing lighting in your home. It's not just set and forget. You really want something that is something that you love and something that really makes everything in your home look beautiful. So here you can see we really stayed at that 3000 Kelvin range because I think it provides a great warm tone, especially for cooking, but it also, it makes your red stand out. It does a lot of different things when actually looking at it. So we have some of our eyeball lights here. We have some of our regular just baffled 3-inch lights here. And you'll see the common thread is I stuck to much smaller lights that have great output, but I wanted something smaller on the ceiling. So it was very important that we did this. And you can see moving through the kitchen, it's beautifully lit. It's easy to, maneuver through if you're cooking or have multiple different people cooking. That was really important for this scenario. But let's go back to the other part of the kitchen, which is our butler's pantry, which I really really think came out even moodier and really, really looks great. You can see that we have our whole other stack of appliances here. So this is another great place to actually cook and serve right out to the dining room since we're adjacent through that doorway right there. We have all of our appliances here for that. And you can see that in-cabinet lighting was really big for us to make sure that all of our cabinets were lit. So since they are all glass, we wanted to be able to see through, see all of our glassware, our different things here. And these lights are actually really neat because they're one singular strip of LEDs. So instead of the actual diodes planted every 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch, this is a 100% concurrent LED strip. So now you don't get any of the actual diode circular marks that you get in some of the other lights that we showed you in the house, like the ones in the blue bookcase. These ones are 100% linear. So it's a totally different illusion when you're actually looking through here. And you can see that even the integrated wine refrigerator here has beautiful lights here, so you can see on both different levels of it as well. So you can see that down here has a light and up there has a light. So color temperature was a really big thing in this kitchen to make sure that we really got it right. So it's a really enjoyable space and you want to come in here and interact and have a good time. Now, as we head upstairs, let's highlight another key component of lighting that I actually put inside of my stairs. So I really always love stair lighting. I think it gave a really elegant look and it led you up. And it also is great for guests so that if they are walking up here, it's a great night light. A lot of people are now putting them in the wall or they're doing a modern line up the wall, but I live in a traditional home. I wanted to do it the traditional way. So that was all. Every other stair, we made sure that we put a stair light in and it looks beautiful and it gives a totally different look as you're moving up the staircase. Moving here to our landing, you'll actually see this is one of our sink lights. So what it is it's just a regular A19 bulb that can go in any lamp fixture. It connects right over to the Wi-Fi network. And now we have full RGBW and circadian rhythm with just a light fixture that was here. And it's great, like I said, to add a pop of color. So coming up the stairs, we see something different. Moving through, you'll see we did another 2 stair lights here to make sure that we continued the theme of that, give some more light on this landing. And then you move to our big chandelier here. And then throughout here, you'll see we have more 2-inch eyeball fixtures. I am a huge fan, like I've said downstairs and in all the other rooms, I love 2-inch eyeballs. I think they provide a great light and we actually have them all positioned here so you can see that they're all tilted in different ways so that they illuminate what we want to illuminate, but not what we don't. So I didn't want to illuminate this wall, so I made sure that I bent all the lights out. So we just provide light in this area here. You can see up here, we even have one illuminating our picture here, and I even have some of my side sconces here, which are even controlled by another switch. So up here, I can just pop them on. And what's neat about Savant is, in most of the control systems now, any switch can do any fixture. So if I said, I want this switch to control every fixture in the foyer, well, it can be programmed to do that. So here I actually just have it for the sconce, because if I just need a quick light, come right out, and here's my quick light. So it's really nice. I love this back wall. I love what our lighting did to it and just made it look so much different than it did before. All right, moving to another critical room in my home, a room that I use every day, is my master bathroom. So it felt right that we needed to illuminate the bathroom correctly for exactly how I like to live. So I actually have 2 different ways of lighting this. I light it differently in the nighttime than I do during the daytime. Daytime is much brighter. It's a different music choice. It's a different selection. And at nighttime, it's a much warmer tone. And you can see that it's more dim from our chandelier and our lights here. So at night, I just put on our 2-inch wafered beam lights here. And then I did a beautiful chandelier up here that gives off a beautiful look when all the lights are hitting the crystals and stainless steel. And then we have our 2 mirrors here, which provide another great level of light in this bathroom. In here, we actually didn't dim any of the lighting. We just, since that's a powder room, we made sure that it just stayed bright, and that's what actually controls the fans that you hear in the background. So now, let me show you what it looks like during the morning, and you'll see how totally different it looks and how that would actually make you want to get ready faster than at nighttime. All right, now here is the morning scene. So you can see that a couple different lights turned on that are immediately right in front of you. The chandelier got brighter. The mirrors are brighter. We have actual lights that are now shining on our marble mosaic in the background. So those are different eyeballs. Those lights got brighter. So now everything in this bathroom is, I would say, at least 80 to 85% now, instead of before, where every light fixture hovers around 5 to 20%. So you can see that at night, it's much dimmer, it's darker, it's moodier. And in the morning, it's totally different different and you're ready to get showered and ready to go for the day. So now let's go over the brains of our lighting control system. So our actual brain is up in the attic, that controls everything. But down here is the nuts and bolts of what actually makes our lighting system. And something I also forgot to mention was our energy management system work. So right here in the center, front and center, is our panel bridge controller. That actually communicates with some of our smart lighting dimming modules, which you can see inside of this panel right here. So that transmitter uses Bluetooth Low Energy and talks to these sensors multiple times a second and gives two-way communication feedback to where each of the lighting dimmer controls is and what's actually happening. And that's really great for energy management. Now, energy management was something I really wanted to focus on in my home to see what the home is actually consuming at the end of the day. Over here you can see we split this up into multiple load centers so that we could have different pieces of technology inside of them. So you can see here we actually have our load modules. That's monitoring what loads are going on in the house at once. So I actually put my refrigerator and my freezer. I wanted to know at the end of the day, how much energy did my refrigerator and freezer use? My butler's pantry oven. And what's also nice about this is it integrates with our power generation system, which is from our generator out back. So when we do go into a power failure mode and run off of battery and then switch to our generator, it makes sure to tell these breakers, hey, I don't need my third oven today. Let me turn that off. Or hey, I don't need my guest laundry room, so let me turn that off. And you can see that we have some of those modules right here. So it's really important that we made sure to get the energy management of the home right, but we also got the lighting control right. And that's another thing. I really wanted to show you this panel and show you exactly how all of these modules actually work. So Savant has done something really neat here. Now, compared to other lighting control companies out there like Lutron and Control4, Savant actually uses the panels that are already inside the home here, and you can wire them with a professional electrician, bring them in. We can bring in all of our lighting control loads here. You can see everything comes in from our top here, and then distribute them upon our modules inside the panel. So now we're not adding any other panels or anything like that. So if you did want to go through and do this in your own home, you don't have to rip apart every wall to get to the wires. We can still add these modules. And if you're adding more lights, it's even easier. Now the electrician just has to run right back to the panel. So here you can see these are some of our loads. We have them separated out on different floors since we have multiple load centers throughout the home to just handle lighting control. So here you can see we have our hallway, our breakfast room. We have a lot of different lights here. We have some that are actually unassigned and waiting to be assigned as soon as fixtures get installed. But this is a really neat way of doing this, and this is on the peak of technology of giving me full energy management and lighting and dimming control right inside of our electrical panel that exists in the home. So if energy management is something that you really wanted to focus on, I would look to Savant because they have an incredible program and an incredible platform to actually build off of. And I love the integration that we have with Savant. So that's just another big shout out to our friends at Savant for making incredible products that we love installing and we hope that you guys will love using. So that's just a quick look at our panels. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our video. I really wanted to go over how crucial a lighting element is in your home. So whether you're redesigning a home or building from scratch, I really encourage you to make sure that you work with a lighting manufacturer or lighting designer so that they get the right fixtures for you. Here we used a lot of GM fixtures, a lot of GE Sync fixtures, and we are so lucky that we're a partner with Savant that we were actually able to do this and use Savant for control and GE Sync for different colors and different lighting effects and the circadian rhythm effect. I really think it's important that in today's day and age, we must bring technology in and we must start living with it, and we can see how it betters our lives when you're actually involved in it and using it. And here I made sure that my home was beautiful so that when I came in, I knew all my lighting was synced right, and when I had guests over, it was just a beautiful picture that I painted in their mind of what the home was actually capable of. So thank you for taking the time to watch. Like and subscribe below and leave a comment if you're getting ready to do a lighting project on your own in your own home.